betrayal that could oust Vinicius Jr. from Real Madrid despite his success. Beloved by the fans, owner of the number 7 shirt inherited from Cristiano Ronaldo, they're plotting against Vinicius Jr. And the betrayal gets even worse, as it would be to resolve a long-standing soap opera and rejection. Real Madrid is diminishing itself in front of a player. What's the aim behind selling Vinicius Jr.? Where does the malice lead? That's what we'll find out in today's video. I'm Jay, and if you genuinely enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like at the end. Vinicius Jr., a kid who arrived at Real Madrid completely discredited, both by Brazilians and the European press. Everyone doubted the potential Vinicius Jr. could express at his new club. In fact, here in Brazil, they called him Neguia Jr. He made it happen and proved everything a player could prove in his situation, even delivering a Champions League to Real Madrid. But here we are again to talk about the long-standing soap opera involving PSG, Real Madrid, and Kylian Mbappe. Only this time, the rope might break on Vinicius Jr.'s side. PSG is completely interested in having Vinicius Jr.'s football in case they can no longer hold on to Mbappe. In fact, Sheikh Al Khalifa swore to steal players from the rival Real Madrid if they lost their precious Ninja Turtle. The French promised to steal names like Camavinga, Valverde, Rodrigo, and Vinicius Jr., who is also on that list. And now it has become more likely, especially since he plays the same position as Mbappe. Liverpool also sees itself very keen on having Vinicius Jr.'s football, especially because Salah's departure in the near future is highly probable. And running outside of this list, but which we should also consider, are the Arabs from Al Ahly, who, as we've discussed here on the channel, made a super indecent proposal for the Brazilian, a salary of 200 million euros per year, plus all the luxuries and privileges of Neymar's robot, mansions, cars, private jets, without spending a single penny from his pocket. Vinicius Jr. would definitely live like a sheikh in the Arab world. But considering the level of football, he hasn't shown much interest in the Saudi league. Vinicius Jr.'s idea is to stay in Europe, establish his name there, and then, later on, make some money in Arabia. And the latest addition to the list that has entered with everything into the competition is Manchester United, which recently had 25% of its shares bought by another richer man in the UK. And the guy is a big fan of Vinicius Jr. and wants to see him wearing the Red Devils shirt. According to people close to the player, the figures are around 150 million euros to lure the Brazilian away from the Spanish capital. And honestly, considering Vin's character, he'd be the guy. He'd thrive in any of these teams he wanted to go to. The kid has the talent, the dedication, and the personality of someone who wants to solidify his name in football history. Furthermore, he continues to evolve as a person and as an athlete. He's even more disciplined than ever this season. And a proof of that is the significantly reduced number of yellow cards. So far, he's played 19 matches in all competitions, with only 3 yellow cards. Last season, the Brazilian ended up with 16 yellows, and his evolution on the field is impressive. Vinicius Jr. came back even stronger after his injury. His attempts to take on opponents have decreased, yet the star seems more lethal than ever, with more resources to reach the goal, playing on the wing and a lot through the middle, exploiting space behind the defenses. In fact, he scored 2 goals like that against Barcelona in the Supercopa final, and he finds his teammates very well, whether in simple or difficult passes. Even his crosses, which were terrible, have improved lately, not to mention his finishing. Before, Vinicius Jr.'s finishes were a surefire meme. Now, the dude is shooting really well with both feet, and there's still room to highlight his coldness in front of the goal. It seems to have increased a lot. He's playing amazingly. Despite Vinicius Jr. showing all of this, according to the eSport newspaper from Catalonia, Florentino Perez didn't quite like Vinicius Jr.'s provocations towards rivals, against Barcelona, and especially against Atletico Madrid, where Los Blancos were defeated in extra time, with Mbappe delivering the goods to old Florentino. The Flamengo product is not the ideal protagonist he had in mind for Real Madrid. It's Kylian Mbappe. He prefers a good guy to occupy that position, not someone who causes so much controversy. That's why the sale of Vinicius Jr. would be to pave the way for the arrival of the Frenchman, who is asking for frightening amounts. According to the El Desmarque newspaper, the star's mother, his manager, demands a fee of 175 million euros and an annual salary of nothing less than 100 million euros. Real Madrid might be exchanging something certain for something doubtful. These initial 275 million could be a real shot in the foot, leading to Florentino Perez's downfall. For some of the idols of the merengues, like Gucci Vine, there's still plenty of room for growth and maturation until the time comes when he'll become a top-notch player, and Real Madrid won't want to lose this guy at the highest level. Indeed, if Florentino thinks so, not everyone believes that Kylian Mbappe can be a better player than Vinicius Jr. In fact, in the last few seasons, Vinicius Jr. has been carrying the load, and the merengues don't need someone to compete for the position of their main player, but rather a goal scorer, a true killer, who, when the ball arrives, puts it into the net. Someone who can make the most of the company of Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Bellingham, who are true talents. Until the final decision of the directors, an old Florentino, Rodrigo is the one holding the reins, and he's smashing it. Beautiful goal, an absolutely absurd prodigy, and the guy wearing the number 7 shirt. Vinicius Jr., total mischief, is completely focused on the field, showing the same mentality as his idols, training excessively and occasionally provoking opponents in a Rio de Janeiro style, even while being sincere. FIFA, UEFA, and other organizations are increasingly stifling the game in terms of rivalry. These provocations are what add true spice to the game. Without them, the game becomes bland and tepid. Provocation and the desire to knock the opponent down are definitely what drive thousands of fans to have passion for a club. Yeah, the soap opera continues to unfold, especially because they keep pampering the player Kylian Mbappe, showing interest in a guy who's a real pain, despite being a great player. He's a real pain, but now I want to know your opinion. If you were in Vinicius Junior's shoes, what decision would you make? Compete for a spot with Mbappe? Go to Manchester United? Switch chairs and go to PSG? Or leave for Arabia and tie your donkey in the shade? I'm JS, and this is the Goal Gossip Channel. And if you liked the video, you know what to do. If you didn't, no problem. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.